Oh, we all know about the bad Disney sequels. They're bad, they're bad. They're just bad. You know, the direct to VHS, the direct to DVD, but what about the good ones? You heard me. The good ones. Yeah. Amongst all that pile of poo, there's gold. There's gold in the poo. There is gold nuggets in the poo. One of these is Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure. It's a very good movie. For a direct to DVD sequel of a movie that wasn't even thought of having a sequel until then, it's an amazing sequel. Now there is another Disney sequel that's very good, and that's Bambi 2. It takes place kind of in the middle of Bambi. You can actually start watching the first one and then watch Bambi 2 at the same time, and it adds to the story. Now I'm sure I'm missing a few. 101 Dalmatians 2 is good. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's good. It's in the middle. It's above the middle. It's good. At least the cartoon version. Yep. It's very confusing. Now, what's really confusing is when they made 101 Dalmatians. I'm pretty sure that they made a video game in that movie, and they were going to come out with that exact video game, but they never did for some reason, and it would have been called 101 Dalmatians the video game. But that exact video game never came to be, and we only got bad games for 101 Dalmatians. How did this happen? I have no idea. Probably just someone said, you know what? We're not going to put effort into these games. Now, Disney has released a lot of confusing games on CD-ROM, mostly. I don't think there ever has been a Disney floppy disk game. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there is. I'm probably missing one. Now, there are a few weird Disney games, like, well, actual games, but but not exactly. What I mean by that is, just hang on a minute. Just gonna turn off the light over here. Yeah, ever since I got a new phone, even though it can record in 1080p, I cannot pause to transition, which is arguably less than better. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Should be down here. Should be down here. It might be over here. The reason that this game that I want to show you is so weird is that it's not a game that comes on a CD-ROM. It's a game that comes on a DVD to be played on your DVD player. Now, there are a lot of DVDs from Disney that do this, mostly on the special features DVD. But this is a full-fledged game. It's called Disney Dogs, and it's kind of a Mario Party ripoff. Now, this game was released. It was just released. It sort of just happened. And it's good. It's actually incredibly easy to beat. Yep, it has an ending. So it is a full-fledged game. It's not some game, some just thrown together thing that now it kind of is, because it doesn't really feel like a game that you would spend a lot of money on, but it's a game. that you play in your DVD player. I am running out of time. Let's see. Now there are more games. There was a game for 102 Dalmatians, the live action version. I talked about the 101 live action video game that was supposed to come out, but it never did, and they inevitably released a bad game. Now, I'm not sure if they ever released a 101 Dalmatians game for the animated one, but I wouldn't be surprised. There's probably one on the Super Nintendo for all I know. The Super Nintendo had a lot of games, okay? I can't... Because there was a lot of Mickey games, there was a lot of everything. You know, I actually wanted to make a version of Train Simulator for my calculator, but I don't have the technology to do so, and I have way too many trains loaded into my files on Train Simulator to do that now. Now, if my Train Simulator had just been bought, which it was a long time ago, and just had a few trains, I could do that, and I would know exactly what the controls would be, and I would honestly release the Train Simulator for calculator for free, because even though it would probably never receive any updates, maybe I would have an updated version for the famous Texas Instruments newest, the calculator that can do anything, the one, the TI Inspire, that one. But I have a TI 84 Plus CE, so the first version will come out for that if I ever do actually make it. I was also actually planning on making a game that's My Railway, but you can control all of the trains, and you have to do objectives like deliver something or just free run. You can run the trains wherever you want, as long as you can stop them before the buffers, or at least take off the power before the buffers, and then they derail. Now, I was going to release that game also on calculator, but I think I'm going to have to release it on PC. Now, it was going to be a top-down for the calculator, which could actually work. Now just imagine you could control all of these trains. Well, except the Yertle ones, because, well, those need to be pushed around, but also because I don't have any cars for those. Really, you could control all of the trains that I have on your own. And that would honestly bring my audience, you guys, closer to the railway. Yep, this is literally just after I made the first video reenactment that I did again. I love reenacting my first video because it was the first accident that ever happened. Now, contrary to the building of the railway, which actually is kind of true, I actually did start with a couple of lines of track on the floor, and then it came into an actual layout, and then it expanded and eventually turned in... Ooh, spider. Spider. Either that or it's a moth. Well, that's about it for the games that I wanted to create, because I'm running out of time and space on my phone.